अच्छा जी, rub two plastic rulers with rub sorry two नहीं rub plastic ruler with your hair, place it near running water from the tap. You see that the thin stream of water is deflected. Explain why. Because when we rub the plastic ruler into our hairs or comb our hairs, it would transfer electrostatic charge. So when this comb is brought near to the water stream, water is conductive material. So the charges would be induced into that. And since comb is already charged and stream of water is also charged, so they will attract each other. So since उसने कहा है कि इस thin, you see that this thin stream is deflected, so हम attraction की बात कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे कि it will be या deflected, just simply deflect का word use करने का, उसने attractive या repulsive के बारे में बात नहीं की हुई है। ठीक है। Due to the friction,
Okay.
there would be a charge, electrostatic charge produced on the comb, since comb is insulating in nature. So, sorry, the charge would retain on the scale, and when it will bring close to the water, it would attract the water, or the water would deflect to the charged comb. Then we have two identical spheres have same mass. Then we charge both sphere oppositely. Two identical spheres have same masses. Then we charge both spheres oppositely. After charging, will there be both bodies have same masses or different masses? Since there is only अच्छा, यहाँ पे एक चीज को माइंड में सब रखना, मैंने आपको एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द लेसन भी ये डिस्कस किया था व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड के जो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ चार्ज है दैट इज नेवर चेंज्ड ऑन द बॉडीज। मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ चार्ज का मीन्स के देयर विल ऑलवेज बी इक्वल नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड होल्स। जितने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लूज किए होंगे उतने ही होल्स वहां पे जनरेट हुए होंगे, एंड उसने नेक्स्ट बॉडी ने गेन किए होंगे। तो टोटल जो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ चार्जेस होता है दैट ऑलवेज रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट।
Okay.
अब उससे हमें ये बोला आफ्टर चार्जिंग विल देयर बी बोथ बॉडीज हैव द सेम मास और डिफरेंट masses. Since one body has lost electron, one sphere has lost electron, and one sphere has gained electrons. So obviously the one which has lost electrons, उसका mass क्या होगा? Decrease. And the one which has gained that electron, उनका mass क्या होगा? Increase. Because F is equals to ma भी होता है ना हमारे पास। नहीं, वैसे हम उसकी वो लॉजिक हमें यहाँ पे करनी तो नहीं है। एनी हाउ, इंक्रीज इन द मास नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, उसका एटॉमिक मास ऑब्वियसली क्या करेगा? इंक्रीज करेगा। एटॉमिक मास नहीं, सॉरी कह रहा हूँ, मास इंक्रीज करेगा उसका। एटॉमिक मास तो वो उसके प्रोटॉन्स भी इक्वली इंक्रीज होने चाहिए। सिंस वी आर नॉट टेकिंग दैट इनटू अकाउंट, तो हम उसको नहीं डिस्कस करेंगे। Anyhow, the next question we have is, you take your car to service station to get it polished. After a while, you observe that your car attracts the dust. We already have discussed that. Why would it attract the dust? Never.
Due to friction.
Yes, due to friction, electrostatic charge develop हो जाएगा. Since air would act as a conductor here, so it would attract the dust particles from it, from the surrounding. So due to the friction between the cloth and the car, there would be some electrostatic charge developed on it, and उसकी वजह से उसके ऊपर जो है, it would attract the dust particles towards it. बल्कि इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक की एप्लीकेशंस आप जब पढ़ोगे ना, you'll also get to read कि जब कार्स को चार्ज किया जाता है, even then we चार्ज कह रहा हूँ, कार्स को पेंट किया जाता है, we also apply this technique that we give the body of the car as a positive charge, and the paint from the nozzle from which the paint is coming out, we give it a negative charge. So when the paint come out of the nozzle, it's already negatively charged, and positive charge and negative charge attract each other, so we get a very fine and thin layer of paint deposited onto the car. You will read that in electrostatic की तीन applications होंगी. एक चिमनी की होगी, चिमनी के अंदर we apply electrostatic charge. On the side, we use a mesh kind of a substance on either side of the क्या कहते हैं, chimney, and we give it a charge. So when the smoke particles are passing through it, तो वो उसको क्या कर देते हैं, चार्ज कर देते हैं, and they stick to it in this way. जो harmful gases होती हैं, they do not enter the atmosphere. Okay. Then we have question number 4. Take two oppositely charged rods, place them separately near a piece of paper. Why do they both attract small pieces of paper? Is there any third type of charge present on which attracts both positive or negative charge or so? Obviously, if they are attracting the pieces of paper, that is, they are inducing charge into the paper. So if a charge is induced, so that means there is a shuffling, there is a distribution of charge across the paper. So जब हम लोग, suppose this is a piece of paper, it has equal number of positive and negative charge. I brought a negative rod in front of it. It would attract the positive charges towards the negative charges would be pushed on the other side. If I bring a positive rod, it would attract the negative side, and the positive charges would be. So it means if both rods are attracting the paper piece, charge has been induced into the piece of paper. When there is induction, there is a distribution of charge across the body. So positive charge or negative charge is pushed on the other side.
Okay.
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 Whenever charge is induced, always an opposite charge is induced onto the other body. Then we have fifth MCQ, short question. The force between 2 points. This was 4. The force between 2 point charges is 10 Newton. If the charge is doubled and distance between them is reduced, what will be the magnitude of force? Let's just say, uh, sorry, mathematical है. Initially, force is how much do we have of force? As 10 Newton with K, Q, Q1 and Q2 over R square. The new force is K is constant, charges को double कर दिया, 2Q1 and 2Q2, and we have reduced the distance by half, so R by 2 square. So it would be 4K Q1 Q2 over R square, and this 2 square, बल्कि R square by 4, ये ऊपर जाके multiply हो जाएगा, and we will have Question number 7. Why is it dangerous for construction workers to hold long steel pole upright during the lightning weather condition? What comes to your mind? We have discussed that theory under earthing concept. Obviously, during lightning, steel is a conductor, so there is a possibility that electrostatic charge can be इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक चार्ज भी हम कह सकते हैं और सिंपली चार्ज जो है वो ट्रैवल कर सकता है across the rods and since our body is a conductor as well so through that steel rod the charge would flow through our bodies which obviously would electrocute us and would cause the death of the worker. 2 points. First, steel is a conductor. Second, body is a conductor as well. So if we are holding that in our hand and there is lightning going on, so steel rod might attract the charges towards it. And due to that, since it's a taller structure or taller structure के ऊपर खड़े हैं, so there is a chances के the steel rod might get the uh, lightning and through that steel rod it would travel across our body and may cause the death of the worker. Then
Okay.
here, according to the equations of the capacitance, capacitance is numerically equal to the ratio between the charge stored on one of its plates and potential difference between its plates. Thus, its value depend upon the amount of charge and potential difference. Obviously, अगर उसकी equation में आ रहा है तो वो चीजें अगर इक्वली चेंज हो रही है फिर तो ऑब्वियसली इफेक्ट नहीं करेगा बट अगर इंडिविजुअली इंक्रीज हो रही है तो उसमें रहेगा क्योंकि कैपेसिटेंस फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर कैपेसिटर नॉर्मली एज अ कांस्टेंट यूज होता है यहाँ पे ठीक है एंड कांस्टेंट की वैल्यू क्या रहती है इट रिमेन सेम बिकॉज जब हम कैपेसिटर की इक्वेशन लिखते हैं ना वो डिस्कस दैट इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द पोटेंशियल अप्लाइड एंड व्हेन वी रिमूव दैट वी गेट दिस कांस्टेंट जिसको हम कैपेसिटेंस का नाम देते हैं सो सिंस एफ C is equals to Q over V. And if we change anything, so overall ratio क्या रहेगी हमारे पास? Constant रहेंगी. If something is increasing, the other would decrease and so forth and so on. ठीक है?
Okay.
तो अगर हम इस चीज को अपने माइंड में रखें तो if V is increasing so is the Q so overall ratio would remain same the value of capacitance would remain same हाँ if there is some वो जो हमने बाकी तीन पैरामीटर्स डिस्कस किए थे if the medium across it is changed between the two plates is changed the area of the plate is changed or the distance between the plates is changed then capacitance के ऊपर obviously effect पड़ सकता है कौन से तीन पॉइंट्स थे डायमेंशंस थी that would account for the area and everything. दूसरा क्या था? Distance between the plates. And the third one was medium between the plates. Then we have do do two capacitors of different area gain same or different amount of charge if connected with the same battery. Yes. Obviously जिसका एरिया ज्यादा होगा उसका चार्ज भी उसके ऊपर चार्ज ट्रांसफर भी ज्यादा होगा even if it's connected to the same battery as compared to the one which has smaller area. So for question number 9, the capacitor with larger अच्छा जस्ट फॉर सेक ना कैपेसिटेंस का जो वो ए ओवर डी ये रेशियो होता है हमारे पास रिलेशन होता है So if you need to keep, if you need to work on that to get A is the area of the plate, epsilon naught is the medium between the plates, and D is the distance between the plates. तो इसके अकॉर्डिंगली हम डिसाइड करते हैं कि उसके ऊपर क्या पड़ेगा. सो कैपेसिटर विद लार्जर एरिया would gain more charge. अगर बाकी तमाम चीजें हम लोग सेम रखते हैं, क्योंकि उसने एरिया को जस्ट डिस्कस किया हुआ है, ठीक है. अगर हम उसमें मीडियम एंड डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द प्लेट्स कांस्टेंट रखते हैं, तो कैपेसिटेंस जो है वो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल एरिया क्या हो जाएगा अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस फॉर्मूला. सो कैपेसिटेंस
Okay.
डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एरिया. We have not this formula in our book, but in first year you're going to read that. First year नहीं, second year के अंदर. Then the last question is, a device has capacitance of 250 nanocoulombs. You are asked to decrease its capacitance to 50 nanocoulombs. How can you get it by connecting another capacitor with it? Equivalent capacitance उसने दी हुई है, which is 250. And capacitance of wall, you are asked to decrease its capacitance to 50 नैनो कूलम. फाइनल वैल्यू हमारे पास वो है, हमें कैपेसिटर फाइंड आउट करना है. I need to do question number 10 somewhere here. According to the formula, अगर हमें डिक्रीज करना है तो हमें ऑब्वियसली इस फॉर्मूला के साथ जाना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, उसने ये भी नहीं बताया ना सीरीज में करना है या पैरेलल में करना है. चलो सीरीज में एक दफा ट्राई करके देख लेते हैं. हमें C2 फाइंड आउट करना है, तो it would be 1 over C1 is 250 Newton, nanocoulomb, sorry, and equivalent capacitance is 50, because final हमने उस पर reach out करना है. So 50 minus 1 over 250. How would it reach to that? So 1 5 minus 1 over 250 हो जाएगा. Uh, this would be 4 over 250 and 5 something का आंसर आ जाएगा हमारे पास. It would be 250 over 4, which would be equivalent capacitance के sorry C2 के equal हो जाएगा ये. And क्या आंसर आएगा इसका? 250.
62.5.
So C2 is equals to 62.5 nano farad. अच्छा, उन्होंने यूनिट भी गलत लिखे हुए हैं यहाँ पे साथ में. सी, उन्होंने कूलम्स लिखा हुआ है, ये भी फैरेड्स होंगे.
Okay.
तो ये थे हमारे एंड ऑफ शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस, एंड वी वर supposed to do the rest of the MCQs. MCQs के रिमेनिंग क्या होते हैं? अच्छा जी, इसमें है फर्स्ट MCQ, आई गेस हमने यहाँ से फिफ्थ से स्टार्ट करना है. And we have, if a potential difference between the plates of the capacitor is reduced to one half, then the capacitance of the capacitor become. तो क्या फॉर्मूला अप्लाई होगा?
Q equals it's there.
No, the answer is right in front of us. Obviously, हम लोगों ने formula भी तो apply करना है ना.
The formula is also there.
Oh, I didn't see that. अच्छा वो लाइट सा लिखा हुआ. हमारे पास फॉर्मूला Q is equal to C भी होता है अकॉर्डिंग टू V Q over C है. उसने बोला if the potential between the capacitor is reduced to one half, which means कि हमें पोटेंशियल को क्या करना है, रिड्यूस करना है टू दी हाफ. कैपेसिटेंस के ऊपर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा हमने उसमें जाना है. ठीक हो गया. दिस यहाँ से ये नहीं होगा. सो वी डैश यहाँ पे पुट हो जाएगा तो टू ऊपर आ जाएगा Q ओवर V. सो कैपेसिटेंस हमारे पास क्या हो जाएगी, डबल हो जाएगी. लेट मी रीराइट एवरीथिंग इन अ न्यू पोएम. हमें कैपेसिटेंस को फाइंड आउट करना है. इट वुड बी Q over V. The new potential would be V over 2. When I put this here, so the new capacitance would be Q over V over 2. This 2 will go up. So Q over V. This is equals to original capacitance. So the new capacitance would be twice the previous capacitance. Next तो
Okay.
हमारे पास easy सा था. उसमें बोला farad is a unit of capacitance. Already take one. If two capacitors are connected in series, then capacitance of the combination क्या होता है, increase होता है, decrease होता है.
Decrease.
And why is that? Because वो ratio में होता है. 1 over CE is equals to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2. Which quantity is vector? Potential नहीं होता क्योंकि वो V and Q पे depend कर रहा होता है. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी वुड बी द राइट आंसर. बिकॉज ये जब मैं आपको करवा रहा था, इफ यू रिमेम्बर, हम लोगों ने तब भी बात की थी कि इट्स द intensity or the electric field that has a direction. Rest of the quantities will be considered as scalar quantities. Then if a capacitor store charge of 10 coulombs when the potential difference of 5 volt is applied, what will be the charge on capacitor if 20 volt is applied on that? ये इसका न्यूमेरिकल हमने किया ही है ना अभी.
Yes.
सबसे पहले हमने कैपेसिटेंस फाइंड आउट कर लेनी है. दैट वुड बी इक्वल्स टू Q over V. फॉर दैट इट वुड बी 10 over 5 which is 2 farad. एंड हमें न्यू कैपेसिटेंस फाइंड आउट करनी है, सॉरी चार्ज फाइंड आउट करना है ना. So CV2, so 2 into 10, this would be 20. 20 का आंसर है, नहीं 40 का है.
I got
सॉरी
40.
सॉरी 2 into 20 है, मैंने 10 गलती से लिख दिया. वोल्टेज वॉज 20 ना, मैंने बाय मिस्टेक 10 लिख दिया. It would be 40 coulombs. And then the last is which of the following is touched with the disc of charged electroscope, but gold leaves of the electroscope do not collapse. बाकी सब कंडक्टिव हैं. देयर इज ओनली वन विच इज नॉट कंडक्टिव विच इज पेपर रॉड. बिकॉज यू नो ना ग्रेफाइट इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस में हम लोगों ने केमिस्ट्री के अंदर आपने पढ़ा होगा कि इज द ओनली कंडक्टिव नॉन मेटल कंडक्टर है हमारे पास. दैट इज द एंड ऑफ द एक्सरसाइज. So the very first numerical that we had was K. They told us that how many electrons are to be removed from a metallic sphere to get 100 pico of charge. So the very first formula that we studied in the chapter was Q is equals to Ne. Q is the charge, N is the number of electrons, and E is the charge on one electron. Charge on one electron is given as 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulombs. The charge required was 100 picofarad. Pico is to 10 raised to the power minus 12. So I rearranged the formula in order to find the n, and the answer came out to be 6.25 into 10 raised to the power 8 electrons. Did you get the same answer?
Yes.
Moving on to question number
Yeah.
2, they have given us two charges, 1.2 picofarad and 2.5 picofarad, and they were separated by a distance of 50 centimeter. हमें magnitude of force find out करना है. So according to Coulomb's law, F is equals to K Q1 Q2 over R square. K is the constant, Q1 and Q2 were the charges. So Q1 was given as 1.2 pico and Q2 was given as 2.5. R was given as 50 centimeter, to 50 into 10 raised to power minus 2, and constant has a value of 9 into 10 raised to power 9. After putting everything in the calculator, I got the answer 54 into 10 raised to power minus 5 or 5.4 into 10 raised to power minus 14. The choice is yours. आपने किस decimal point तक note किया?
I didn't get this answer.
What answer you got?
1.1 into 10 to the power of minus 13.
See, what difference do we have in
Me too.
the what difference do we have here? Sub value is exactly correct, eh?
Yes.
Let me recheck my answer. Give me a second. यही आ रहा है। आपने स्केयर लिया था? Oh, I forgot to take the scale. What is your answer?
1.1 into 10 to the power of minus 13.
पीछे से देखने से यही आंसर है।
My answer is correct according to the back.
बस मैं वो स्केल लेना भूल गया था। That is the only thing. बाकी तो हमारी सारी वैल्यूज मैच कर रही है ना।
Yes.
Moving on to question number 3, again उसने हमें force calculate करने को बोला हुआ था, but with a little bit of a twist कि what would be the value of force if distance is doubled. So first we put the formula, and using 40 centimeter as the initial distance, we got the answer of the charges as 1.78 into 10 to the power 9 कूलम। स्केयर का ही आंसर है, इट्स नॉट सिंपल। मैंने स्केयर रूट नहीं लिखा, उस लेटर ऑन जाके अगेन उसको पुट करना था। The new force that we were supposed to find out with the doubling the distance. So मैंने distance को double कर दिया r into 2r करके. So that was 80. So by putting this in the equation, what is the answer coming?
I got 20 newtons.
Hareem, you also got 20 newtons?
I got 25 Newton.
मेरा भी 25 ही आ रहा है। 25 newtons. मतलब इसको रीचेक कर लीजिएगा। नेक्स्ट जो हमारे पास फोर्थ क्वेश्चन था, उसमें अगेन उसने बात की हुई आइडेंटिकल चार्जेस, व्हिच मींस Q1 and Q2 are exactly the same, so it would become Q square. In the following question, he has asked us to find out the magnitude of the charges. So I rearranged the whole formula, made Q the subject, and I got Q square as 0.28 into 10 to the power minus 9, and when I took its square root, it came out to be 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 5. Did you guys get the same answer?
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on to the very first conceptual question. We have work done, W. We have charge. Point at lower potential has an electric potential difference. Point at lower potential has electric potential of 13 volt. Find the electric potential of the other point. हमें V find out करना है, that how is it's going to, can you guys hear me properly?
Yes.
हाँ जी। What comes to your mind?
What did he say?
Matlab, the question they are asking is 90 joule of work is done. We have to find the remaining, the potential where electric potential of the other point. What is the
First we would
formula of,
divide
Hanji, what is the formula of potential? V is equals to W over Q. Okay? And potential is always considered as the potential difference. So the formula that we're going to use is V1 minus V2 is equals to work done over charge. So one of the voltage is given as 13. We need to find out the other potential. This one is a lower potential, so we'll put it here. So V1 minus 13 is equals to 90 divided by 2. 90 divided by 2 would be 45. 45 plus 13 would be 58, right?
yes.
So V1 would be 58 volts. In the next question, they have said there are two capacitors of capacitance 5 microfarad and 10 microfarads are connected in parallel with a 20 volt battery. So we have C1 and C2 connected in parallel, which is capacitance is going to be added. Voltage would be same and current would be added. These points should be kept in mind while doing these questions. Okay? Current or sorry, charges, we could say charges would be different along over the row. So, what is the first thing they have given us? Okay, we need to find out the equivalent capacitance. So, equivalent capacitance, as I just told you, it's given as C1 plus C2. C1 is 5 microfarad and C2 is 10 microfarad. So 5 plus 10 microfarad would be equals to 15 microfarads. Power would be added alongside. For B part, the total charge stored on the capacitance. So what will the formula use?
Q equals CV.
Yes, Q equals C equivalent into V. C equivalent came out to be 15 microfarad. Now we'll put the unit here because the voltage has a different unit times 20. So 20 times 5 would be 300. And power would come alongside as it is. Since it's a charge, so the unit would be coulomb. So we'll write 300 microcoulombs. Then for the C part, they need to find out the charge on each capacitance. Which formula will use? Q1 is equals to C1V and Q2 is equals to C2V. So C1 is 5 times 10 to the power of minus 6 times 20 and C2 is 10 times 10 to the power of minus 6 times 20. So ये कितना हो जाएगा हमारे पास 100 and 200 हो जाएगा. This would be 100 microcoulombs and this would be 200 microcoulomb. Because when this will be multiplied with this, we'll write the prefix alongside with without changing anything. As capacitors, next part क्या था इसमें potential difference across each capacitor. So what would be the answer?
20 volts.
Yes, and why is that? Since the capacitors are connected in parallel, so the voltage would remain same or potential would remain same across each capacitor. Then the next question might be of series one, है ना? Series का ही है ना?
Yes.
Okay. We have a capacitor of 3 and 3 microfarad, 6 microfarad series, which means the total capacitance would be 1 over CE is equals to 1 over C1 plus 1 over C2. Harim, you can hear us. Harim is not in the class. Check the chart. जाते हुए उन्होंने कोई text तो नहीं किया?
The only thing she said is my network
The
isn't
internet
working
is
well.
not working well. Yeah. Hold on, let me check. इन्होंने मुझे private chat में कोई message नहीं किया. Then for question number 7, first of all, we need to find out the equivalent capacitance, and we have a value of 1 over 3 and 1 over 6. So equivalent resistance would be 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6. So it would be 2 plus 1 over 6 and 3 over 6, which would be 1 over 2, and equivalent capacitance would be 2 microfarad. Since I have not written the units alongside, so just get it के वो इस तरीके से हो रहा है. Then for the next part, they have asked us to find the total charge stored on the वो. What would be the formula?
Q
Again,
equals
QE is
C.
equals to C into V. So C is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6, and V is 10. So it would be 20 microcoulombs. Next is we need to find out for C part, charge on each capacitor. So charge same ही रहेगा. So if charge on each capacitor would be same since it's connected in parallel. And for the last part, they have asked us a potential difference. What is the formula of potential difference?
V equals
V is
Q over
equals
C.
to Q over C1. Q is 20 into 10 to the power of minus 6, and C1 is 3 into 10 to the power minus 6. So minus 6 will be cancelled out, and we'll have 6.67 volts. And same for V2, Q over C2. Q is 20 into 10 to the power of minus 6 again. And C2 will be, what was the value of the second capacitance? 6 microcoulombs. I guess ये फिर इसका हाफ हो जाएगा 6.67 का, है ना?
Yes.
3.33 something हो जाएगा volts. 3.35 something होगा. Obviously 7 का
No, it's
half हुआ है.
3.33.
Just 3 है.
Yes.
For the last MCQ we have last MCQ is easy. मैंने बोला if a capacitor stores 10 coulombs of charge, we have charge and we have the voltage. How much charge will be stored if it's connected with 45 volts of battery? Okay. हमें टोटल चार्ज फाइंड आउट करना है. उन्होंने दोनों वोल्टेजेस हमें दे दिए हुए हैं. So we have how much charge will be stored. Okay. Q is equals to CV का ही फॉर्मूला लगेगा सिंपल.
I took the ratio.
Or we can go with this form with the basic formula. Q1 is equals to CV1, and C would be equals to Q over V1, and Q is 10 and voltage is 200, so 1 over 20 would be 0.05 farad. So capacitance would remain the same. So let's go for the second one. Capacitance 0.05, and the voltage is 45. If we write it as 1 over 20 into 45, we'll have 2.25 coulombs. Did you get the same answer?
Yes.
So that is the end of the numericals of this chapter.